Howdy ho, y'all. 57 here, bringing you an episode of Rivals and Ramble. I know it's been a while, but I wanted to do this again, and I figured I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I'm in a weird headspace right now. So I felt this was a pretty good time to ramble. God, cross that off. And I had a number of weird things on my mind. I don't know if hell, I know most of my videos are watched by my Pokemon friends, so I don't know if anybody cares about this, but I'm gonna pick that. Think about things like hopefully, but yeah. Anyway, think about things like, all right, so like, there's a lot of like religious or spiritual ideas about like the connectedness of all things in the universe. I'm pretty sure it's in like Eastern philosophy a little bit. And you think about it, we see that in a practical sense, like in the world today, like internet culture and shit. Like I'll talk to Australians and have them try to give me a rugby, and we talk about like Japanese games or whatever, or like maybe like me and like some Indian dude are like pirating the same movie. This is actually probably pretty likely because I've been trying to get into Bollywood. I don't know if it's my sensibility, but like there isn't really a notion of like less is more from what I'm seeing so far. It's all like more is more. Like get a lot of like exposition and like uh, musical elements and a lot of different stuff. I'm not gonna give up on it. Like there's supposed to be like parallel cinema as opposed to just Bollywood as far as Indian filmmaking, and like that's supposed to resemble Italian realism. And if you're my Pokemon friends and you're like, man, Josh, I don't know what Italian realism is, you're speaking like fucking gibberish. Italian realism is movement in post film movement post war Italy, where like it was dudes making like grounded real films without like much like flair to kind of reflect on the times. It has one of my favorite. It encompasses one of my favorite movies, The Bicycle Thieves, and it's just like this movie about you know, oh oh man, did he get the kill? You know, about like life can get fucked up by like simple things. Like the dude, like set in post war Italy. So like there's not like a lot of jobs to go around. And like so dude manages to land a job, but he needs a bicycle for it. And it's a job putting up posters. And so he sells like, bed sheets that were a wedding gift, which is the most valuable thing he has. He gets a bicycle. And he's like riding around on doing posters. Or putting up posters. And then like his bicycle just like gets stolen. And the movie's like him looking for it. And it's not like cartoony, but it's like this like, I think at one point like he finds the guys. Like like near the end he finds the guys. Right? Oh man, that's sweet. I'm gonna use that skin. Near the end he finds the guys though. But like he can't prove it and like, they're like, this is my bicycle. And so he can't get his bicycle back. That's his livelihood, man. And like his life got fucked up by like a random act of cruelty. And it's not something you see enough in movies. And like oh fuck, I'm gonna use this guy. We don't have a good rhythm right now. Yeah, boy. This this new skin since the update is really slick. But Oh fuck, I ran out of jumps there. Oh fuck, I'm only at 1 life left. I need to get my instincts on. Sorry, I'm not talking much right now. But like, yeah. So he like the end of the film is like just him walking around, and he's got his like son and his family and stuff, and like it's so powerful and so sad. I'm just thinking like more movies about that. Like I was talking at work the other day, about like how fucking like stressful like the job of firefighter is. And you don't see that a lot in like firefighter movies. It's mostly like melodrama or shit about like 9/11 or like whatever like that. But like you could just write like a grounded like fireman story. Like even like if you're like even if you don't see people die, even if you see even if you don't have to like watch any like have to take anybody down from like hanging from a tree like some people do, or like or you don't get to save women and children. Like you still have to like see people like lose their livelihood off like some random accident. Like someone leaves a stove on, and like if their life's not ruined, it's like set back by like a significant time frame. And like I don't know, I'm really fixated on that. Like I guess, man, this dude's high ranked. Probably gonna get Draxed up. But you think about that. It's like the movies that like examine like the psychological effects like of like practical jobs, like Bringing Out the Dead. It's a great movie, and you know, Nicolas Cage, Martin Scorsese, and he's like, it's got like a biblical theme to it, but it's like about like this EMT like go like kind of getting his reality broken and losing his mind a little bit, like through the stress of this job and just like little things of like you know how you're psychologically impacted as a human, or how much real people struggle that like you don't see enough of, like being in like a non-harmful accident lately, like even when no one's hurt, like you're still losing time getting your car fixed. If you don't get like a settlement from the insurance company, you're like losing money. Like you'd be being like sick. I think like I first like recognized this in college. Like in elementary school, you're told like, don't worry if you're sick. You know, you miss a day, it's not a big deal, because it's really not. Just take whatever time you need, rest and recover, and your parents to help you out. You know, to get to college, and like if you're like not really badly sick, but if you're sick enough, like where you're out for like a week, you're missing like classes, and then like you're like, okay, I need to go to a walking clinic or something, and like even with insurance, that'll be like $50 out of your pocket, and they'll get you like prescription for the good stuff, which you're like not going to get too much better without. I definitely like respect like why we don't need people going in for like to the hospital for every minor thing, because logistics that are would be nightmarish. But it's crazy like just getting sick can set you back. You're working, you miss a day of work, you're not making that money whatever like that you need. You miss 2 days of work, it's twice the money you're not making, and like money is more of a limiting factor on people's lives than they would like to admit. Like I don't make much, but like I have the safety net of my parents pretty well, but I'm like very conscious of money things. Mm, gotta go APSA. And yeah, I don't know, maybe a bummer, especially since like some of my friends are like younger and stuff, and like they may not like register with them about how simple things could just like fuck you up. Just the littlest things, like you break your hand and you're out of work for like, or like you're limited in like what you could do, and your insurance company isn't, or like whatever money you're getting isn't like doing that much for you. Ah, actually, I'm fine with this. Most people don't really like Treetop Lounge, and I'm fine with it. Need to wait on him to come back. But yeah, I know maybe it's a depressing topic. I think life's depressing. I think life's good too. I don't think they're mutually exclusive. But like, there's a lot of good to at least distract from the depressing. And if they're mutually exclusive, no one would like Holocaust movies. But like, I'm gonna kill this guy. I'm gonna get my ladder hanging up. I'm gonna feel sketchy for doing this, but was he purposely? Alright, he's got his combo game going. Oh, frack, I didn't. And you're, you know, man, I just distracted a long way from the original point. Like, started talking about like universalism and went to like film realism and financial things. I may be too transparent about my finances, so I'm gonna just be like, or my life or whatever. So going back to the point though, I mean, like, everyone struggles, so that's like another thing. And you think about like, even if someone's half a world away, like there's still probably like so much in common you have with maybe not every person, but you have something in common with like most people at least. Like, oh my gosh, I lost this guy after he blew away 2 stocks. I'm so bad, guys. I haven't played this in forever. I'm sorry for not producing quality Rivals of Aether content. Hopefully you just enjoy my rambling. Yeah. Hey, Joe. Let me see. New point. Yeah, universalism. And so I don't know like what that implies on a metaphysical level. Like if we are all practically, you know, united, we're all able to like connect with each other, realize our similarities, communicate with anybody in the world. Like heck, the internet like is all over the world. Those electrical fields all over the world. Like the amount of I'll strike that. Oh, why I this isn't a good stage for it's a good stage for Arcane. I'm too used to that. Oh man. But I don't know though. Like, does that mean that like it's a moot point of the connectedness of all things? Or does it mean that it's like validated? I don't know. There's also the point that like statistically there's like, any number of people in the world. Like, you probably have like 6 near people that are like really similar to you in like, physical appearance. Like, just based on like the size of the world. There's only so many traits. So get to that notion, and you're connected to those people. And you're like, maybe like, also, they're not going to be the same people. But like, there'll be people that share your personality traits as well. Maybe there's only so many of those too. And like, so does that mean, are we not individuals? I tend to think we are, as like loosely Christian existentialist, whatever. I as an individual exist. I have essence. I am screaming into the void of nothingness, hoping that other things exist. Believing that life has a lot of anxiety and depression in it, but is at its core fundamentally good. All right, fuck you, like being impatient, man. But they're being good in the world and stuff. And I don't know if this is heavy, guys, or if it's not. Or maybe I'm just sounding like really dumb. But it's hard to know, man. It may be hard to fight when you're trying to like ruminate about the world. Also hard to fight when you suck, like I do. My existential crisis right now is just sucking at this game. But I'm so bad. I'm not spacing well. I'm just kind of running around doing shit. Alright, he flipped up. So I'm in this a little bit. I'm going to try and focus on fighting. I don't know if I have more things to say or less things to say. I don't have less things to say. There's always more to say. It's just the question of how much more to say. I think the sick Rabbits and Ramble is a pretty good idea. I'm not going to talk about it. And I really rambled, guys. I think that's the goal of this. Me to just ramble, fuck, and play Rivals. Hopefully the Rivals improves as well. If it doesn't, I'm letting you down as a content creator. Ugh, content creating. It's not a real job, guys. Like, in the future, like, all we'll have probably, based on, like, automation, like, when physical labor gets more automated, or, like, a lot of societal roles gets more automated, like, all we'll have is, hey, you fucked it up. But, like, you think about in the future, those traditional jobs go away. So everyone's just working on their entrepreneurship and, like, their intellectual, like, ability. Like, they'll just all be selling things. Yeah, okay. And content creation is like it's looked down upon. And it doesn't really add to society. But, like, I think in the future, like, humans won't be adding to society. We'll just exist in it. And maybe we'll add to culture. But, like, the need to build or develop more will, like, eventually go away. So eventually all these will just be, like, jobs where you use your mind. And that's a scary notion. I'm going to accept it. I'm going to be headless. I'm going to be him enough. I'll see what I can do with him. This dude may be the last person I play on this video. Cross out. I don't like that. I don't like ethereal gates. Alright, cool. I like the stage rebels. Just need to end this linear recovery. Fuck me, man. Guys, fuck me. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna trash this set out, and you're gonna see all losses today, guys. First time back in a while. Hopefully, I'll try to do some battling off camera, or do some more of the series, so I can get better. I don't want my skills to go away in Rivals, if I have any. This dude's calling me like a mofo. And also, there's been a lot more forest burns since last time I played. Like, did he get buffed in the patch, I wonder? I haven't checked the patch notes, really. Reminder, guys, if you like Smash Bros, you'd probably like this game. It's very similar. It's like Smash for furries, just the King jokes. I'm probably dead. That lagged there. Yeah. So yeah, I remember what my last talking point was. Was the automation and us all being internet jobs people in the future. That may have been the last thing I said. Alright, I'm going to Raster. I think Raster has a good matchup on most characters. I'll probably just need to focus on my Raster and my Orcane. Like, in fighting games, like, unless you're like a Zero, or like Nairo, or like whatever the equivalent of that is in like Street Fighter or whatever, any of those dudes, you can't really master like more than a couple characters. And this is a pretty diverse roster. So I'm going Panic Armada. Haven't done that yet. I guess I don't know Armada. The lag is so bad. Dadgummit. He's scrubbing around with that Alyssa and he's still beating me. Cool. Scrub that. Let's see if I can get a win off and scrub it out. He has to get at least one win if I can't win a set. Man, I'm an idiot. Welp. guess that ends. It's going to end another disappointing episode of Rivals and Ramble. I hope you guys enjoyed. Um, leave a like if you did. And as always, stay woke.